greatest army the world has ever seen. We were marching as one on the road to the Holy Grail.
The 2006 AFL Final Series has arrived here in Adelaide, and if you thought last night was good, well, today the prize is even greater, a home preliminary final. Inspiring last week, can the Crows overcome their injury woes again, or will it be the rampaging Dockers making it 10 in a row to finish off a season that has turned upside down?
Turn back the clock. 2 months. 2 short months.
He slots it.
The differences between these two, the Dockers and the Crows, could hardly have been greater. Back then, Adelaide was unbeatable, playing in a world of its own. Every minute detail was being monitored by a man hailed as football's latest genius. The flag was theirs for the taking. As Neil Craig was being crowned the game's latest super coach, Chris Connolly was a dead man walking. Whispers were shadowing his every step. His team was facing another lost season. The pressure at Fremantle was intense.
You asked a question, I'll answer the question. What are you talking about?
But that was then. 2 months later, with the Dockers on the rise, the Crows have been in freefall. The most calamitous player drain has tested every fibre at Football Park. If they're to push on now, it will be without champions in their midst. As Adelaide collapsed, these Dockers and this coach refused to wilt under the fiercest scrutiny. Together, they stayed the course. They stopped being hunted and started to hunt. Gone were the limp easy beats. In their place, a new, aggressive, powerful, purple force. But all that has come before counts for naught. This is the big time. This is the real deal. Who will cope best with September's stunning glare? We're about to find out.
And it's a beautiful but windy day in Adelaide. Soon the sights of this beautiful city will be forgotten. For the Crows will be in action, and their fans have had to endure an unbelievable August as one by one their stars have gone down. Things have looked much better though in September after an inspiring win over Melbourne last week. Good afternoon and welcome to AAMI Stadium as Network 10's exclusive coverage of the 2006 AFL Final Series continues. It's Adelaide and Fremantle, and Malcolm Blight, you've been here and done that before. And what about your team that you coached all those years ago?
Yes, look, they had a good win last week, of course. They struggled, as you'd mentioned. Look, I think they're a big chance today. They know this ground well, and they also know about these windy conditions.
Well, the Fremantle Dockers are their opponent, and there is some support from Perth that people have come over to follow the Dockers. It's been just a really compelling story of they've won 9 in a row.
Look, it has been fantastic for footy. The Dockers have finally found their feet. This is their test, though. They're desperate to win a final. There's none bigger than this right now for them.
If you were Chris Connolly, what would you be telling these guys just before they came in?
Well, providing you've got to have some butterflies, but a lot of them will actually probably go over the top. Their legs will feel a bit heavy. You've got to control that as well.
They're still trying to win their first final. Jeff Farmer's going to play a big part, that's for sure. Let's catch up with Christy Malthouse, who's following the Dockers today. Christy.
Good afternoon. Well, the Fremantle Dockers arrive here at AAMI Stadium full of confidence with 9 straight wins, including defeating Adelaide here in round 19. One big change already with Polak out and Hazelby in. One player who Crow supporters would possibly like to have in their team, considering he was born here in South Australia, Matthew Pavlich, the club's leading goal kicker. Could he be the Dockers' X-factor?
The greatest players shine on the biggest stages of them all. Is Matthew Pavlich about to stake his claim among September's super elite? Does Ben Rutten get first crack at him? Does he have the mobility to cope? Or will Nathan Bassett be thrown the challenge of curbing the Docker match winner?
He's a star, that's for sure. Who's more important to Fremantle, Pavlich or Jeff Farmer, Malcolm?
Oh, no, I'd suggest they're both equal. You can't have one without the other. If one's up, the other can be down.
They need them both to fight today?
Absolutely. They need them both to kick probably 7 or 8 goals between them.
All right, let's turn our attention to the Crows, and they were terrific last week. The second-tier players really kicked up.
Well, they did, Anthony. If you look at Melbourne's form last night, I know they had a couple back in, but I think the Crows' form against Melbourne, it's pretty good form right now if you look at what the Crows did.
All right, let's get more on the Adelaide Crows, and it's Mark Aston who's looking after the Adelaide Crows today. Mark?
Thank you very much, Hutto. A lot of tension over here with the Adelaide change rooms, but I just get the feeling, and I'm certainly hoping, that it's controlled tension. Let's hope that is the case. It is a massive game for Adelaide, of course, a near-capacity crowd. Had the pleasure of seeing Roo and Brett Burton as well. They look relaxed, just a little bit tense as well. Who's the X factor for Adelaide? Why don't we take a look and see?
All season, Simon Goodwin has led the Adelaide charge. Inexhaustible, unyielding, bravely. He's pushed harder and run further than those who've challenged him. Does the pugnacious Josh Carr get first crack? Will it be the veteran skipper Peter Bell? Maybe Docker evergreen Sean McManus will be the man Chris Connolly turns to.
He's averaging 27 possessions a game. What makes him so great, Malcolm?
Well, he's always been good skills, but his mental toughness, I really believe he's one of those players now. He can run with someone or might take the game on. A wonderful player.
We see the win there with the flags. That's very strong. What impact will it have and who will it favour?
Absolutely no doubt. Adelaide play this windy Amy Stadium better than any other team. They train here. There are some awkward little spots on this ground that I can tell you now Adelaide players know more about than anybody else.
All right, well, let's find out about the teams this afternoon. We believe there is one change. It's a very good afternoon to Michael Christian and Stephen Silvani. Boys.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon, everyone. Looking forward to this game this afternoon. Yes, one change for Fremantle. Polak out, Paul Hazelby in. No change to the Adelaide lineup, although there was some talk Ken McGregor might come in, but no change to the Adelaide lineup. Steve, let's start with the Adelaide forward line.
Well, it's going to be a tough day at the office for the Crows forward line. Scott Welch, five goals last week, found some form up against a very good player in Parker who doesn't give his opponent much. Perry at centre half forward, only the 6 games this year. Has just played 2 since coming back after his injury. Luke McFarlane in very good form. That's a very settled Dockers back half.
It is, and Rashudo, Burton and Henshaw all missing from that Adelaide forward line. They're 3 leading goal kickers this year. Let's take a look at the midfield battles.
Well, the midfield's so very, very important, and Dowdy in the middle will come up against Dodd, but Clark and Sandlands is the big one. Clark, one of the best tapmen in the competition, and Sandlands finding some terrific ball. Goodwin and Josh Clark, what a duel that will be. Goodwin's so very good around the ground. I think the hard nut, Josh Clark, will go to him.
Yes, interesting battle. Goodwin leading the AFL in long kicks and inside 50s as we look at the Fremantle forward line.
Well, I think with Polak out of the side, Longmuir will go to full forward. I expect the All-Australian, full back in Rutten to get him, and Scott Stevens on Pavlich is another terrific lineup. Stevens did the job on Pavlich a couple of weeks ago, and I think he'll have first crack.
Does Adelaide have any other alternatives on Matthew Pavlich if he gets on top?
Well, I think Rutten will just come straight out. There'll be a straight swap. Stevens will go to full back, Rutten to centre half back, and he'll take Pavlich.
Yes, some interesting battles at Fremantle forward line following. The interchange benches this afternoon: Peake, Headland, McManus and Shammer for Fremantle, and for the Crows, Douglas, Porplesia, Biglands and Van Berlo. Back to you, Hutto.
Thank you, Michael. Well, let's go inside the rooms. Here's the Crows, Blighty. What will be going through the players' minds now?
Well, a lot of them went through this last year, of course. A lot of them are actually getting their first exposure. So they'll just do this. This is what they've done all year. This is what they've practiced for. So I don't think there'll be too much here. And a lot of the older players here, you see Bassett, just reminding players around him what's required. So
many stars on the sidelines. We saw Andrew McLeod looking on. So that's the Crows' rooms. And, of course, this afternoon, look, there's Andrew watching on. Fremantle, of course, their opponents this afternoon. We look back on the year, Blighty. We talk about defining moments. Bit of a JFK moment was the one down in Launceston. Where were you when no one heard the siren?
When Fremantle took on St Kilda at Aurora Stadium in round 5, few realised how pivotal a day this would be in Docker history. An early season win against a highly rated opponent was a big enough incentive for Chris Connolly's men.
And he's got it!
But when the game ended in a flurry and fury of uncertainty, with Fremantle appearing to have been desperately unlucky,
The siren's already sounded, but they did not hear it.
this club decided to stand its ground.
The right thing's got to be done. The team that deserves to win when the siren goes deserves the 4 points.
Demand justice and no longer allow itself to be pushed around.
You know, this is unacceptable. We clearly won the game, and there are our 4 points.
Victory on the field was ultimately provided by the commission off it.
The Fremantle Football Club won the match.
These were pivotal points in season 2006. But more importantly, it was a coming-of-age moment for the Fremantle Football Club.
Live 7:30 Sunday on the most impressive new set in Idol history. It's the moment you've been waiting for.
The finals begin with the most unique final 12 you've ever seen.
I think this is the best ever.
Live 7:30 Sunday and Monday, the final 12 idols compete for the first time.
And it's a song of their choice.
It's going to blow your mind.
You've been waiting for it, and here it is.
The Idol finals begin live 7:30 Sunday.
There's no feeling like M3 power. Press the button and feel the power. Introducing M3 Power Nitro, the battery-powered shaving system from Gillette. M3 Power with a bold new look. Turn it on. Nothing shaves better. Feel the power of Gillette's closest, most comfortable shave. M3 Power Nitro from Gillette.
Some brothers are famous for their racing prowess. Booze Brothers are famous for great booze savings, like Carlton Cold, only $30.99 a carton. And any 2 bottles of Black Douglas Scotch, Aristoff Vodka, Cougar Bourbon or St Agnes 5-year-old VSOP Brandy for $50. Or choose your favourite from the Kaiser Stuhl 5-litre cask range, just $18 a twin pack. Booze Brothers, we know booze.
Harvey Norman eases the squeeze with a breakthrough offer. No deposit, no interest until 2010. That's 40 months to pay off the new fridge, washer, plasma or home theatre package. 40 months interest-free on your new lounge or dining suite, bedroom update or outdoor setting. 40 months to pay for the latest computer equipment, mobile technology or hot gaming package. No deposit, no interest until 2010. What an amazing offer, but hurry, limited time only, now at Harvey Norman.
For years, I ate fried food and burgers that looked like this. And I looked like this. Then I found Subway restaurants. And I realized I could enjoy lots of great tasting food without lots of fat. Like the new fresh toasted Tuscan chicken sandwich. All white meat chicken, grilled veggies, melted cheese, and Tuscan vinaigrette. All fresh out of the oven, and all with less than 9 grams of fat. 9 grams! And with the help of the Tuscan chicken sandwich, I'm keeping it off. Subway, eat fresh.
Making changes? Start by saving up to 0.7% per annum on our standard variable rate for the life of your loan, with no monthly or annual fees, and no application fee for loans of $200,000 or more. Call NAB today on 13 13 12 for the home you want.
What I remember from that grand final isn't a hell of a lot. Things come, you see footage of the grand final and it definitely brings back a few memories when you see that. But when you have one, you're always hungry for more. And to now be at a new club that's never been there before, I'd like to do my best to help them get there.
Josh Carr, one of the best centres in the competition.
I remember that that week and the week after, obviously I had to make that decision to come back home, and one that I'm very happy with, and I'm happy to be at the Fremantle Football Club.
Are they September bound? Josh Carr with the icing on it.
I think, either way, whatever was going to happen here, I was always happy with my decision. Whether we did struggle for the next few years and we had to go through some hard times, I was always going to be here and go through it with them. But it makes it even easier, with the team going well. So I'm happy with that decision. I loved my time at Port Adelaide, and now my time is at Fremantle Football Club.
Releases for Menace. He can run in and kick the goal. The Menace to put the Dockers in front. And he does.
I see them as the heart and soul of this footy club, and Shawnee Mack, they've all been through some really hard times at this footy club, and from the early days when they first started playing back in '95, to now, they've been up and down, and there's been some really hard times. So to be a part of that with them is exciting for all of us, and just to be able to give our all for them as well as the football club is what we're about.
Fletcher at the front, pitch. Must be tempting.
I'm really out there to make friends with the opposition. I'm out there to play for my football club, and that's how it is, and I'll just deal with that like that.
And the tackle was a middle high. He did start it. Glass is back to the fighter post to him. McFarlane. Here's Josh Carr. That's his second.
Yeah, they are passionate. It was, the other night after the Port game, I know one of the Port trainers said to me that's the loudest crowd I've ever heard, and I'd have to agree with them. I suppose when they haven't been in the finals for so long, the supporters are really hungry, and it's just like the players.
Josh Carr runs in and has kicked his third goal.
Well, he's not always...
This is it. The dramatic grand final rematch. Eagles versus Swans. West Coast versus Sydney. Live 6:30 tonight on your Premiership Network. 10.
Car insurance up for renewal? Then take the Western QBE Insurance Challenge today. Tell us what you're currently paying, then challenge us to beat it. To get our great cover options and low prices, switch today. Call 133 QBE.
If you want picture quality that's out of this world, see SA's biggest range of plasma TVs and LCD TVs at Radio Rentals. If it's just out, you'll find it first at Radio Rentals. Check! From all the big brands. You can pay cash, rent it, or interest-free it. Check, check, check! And Radio Rentals offers an installation service. Check! Get the big picture at SA's biggest electrical retailer. You'd be mad to shop anywhere else.
With an authentic golden crema. New Nescafe Shot Black.
At Officeworks, it's the biggest work sale ever, with astronomical deals across our whole range, including out-of-this-world savings on printing, stationery, furniture and technology. There's only one sale you need to go to. Officeworks, the works.
Cafe Primo, you've just got to love it. What's fresh today?
I have here the warm chicken salad, the penne salmon, the polo avocado and the delicious crumb prawns.
Mark, throw a few more prawns on that.
Oh, here we go again.
There's just so much to choose from. Come in and experience the difference. Primo quality, primo price, Cafe Primo. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm looking to repaint my living room. What do you think of the Dulux Wash and Wear?
Dulux Wash and Wear is a fantastic product. It's easy to apply with a brush or a roller, repels stains. Dulux has a massive range of colours available here at Bunnings.
New Camry Grande comes with traction control and vehicle stability control, so it knows what to do in an emergency. Intuitive New Camry, the car that reads the road.
Harvey Norman eases the squeeze with a breakthrough offer. No deposit, no interest until 2010. That's 40 months to pay off the new fridge, washer, plasma or home theatre package. 40 months interest-free on your new lounge or dining suite, bedroom update or outdoor setting. 40 months to pay for the latest computer equipment, mobile technology or hot gaming package. No deposit, no interest until 2010. What an amazing offer, but hurry, limited time only, now at Harvey Norman.
And it's a sweet story if you're an Adelaide Crow fan. Very slow start, but domination really after quarter time. They've come home to win 10-16, 76 to 7-4, 46. Fremantle only going inside 50 24 times after quarter time. They kicked some goals, a couple in the third quarter, which kept them alive, really. Eventually, though, weight of numbers told. Adelaide kicking 7-8 to 2-2 in the second half to win by 30 points and earn themselves a home preliminary final. The world's biggest winning circle there, Blighty, and they're all enjoying themselves downstairs, and that's no surprise. A great win by 30 points by the Adelaide Crows. Let's go down to their coach, Neil Craig, who's with Mark Aston.
Craigie, well done. That was, I don't know how you found it, but we found it pretty tense. It was the right result in the end, but it was an extraordinary game of footy.
Yeah, it was a good game of footy, Mark. You know, probably fitting for, you know, for the final that it was built to be. Fremantle would be disappointed, but as a club, we've been there before. But it was a great win by our team. It was an unbelievable win for our footy club. So, you know, we take it now. We get a week to recover and hopefully get some of our injuries injury guys available, and prepare for a prelim at home.
Neil, M. Blight upstairs. How are you, pal?
I'm good, Malcolm. Yourself?
I bet you're enjoying that.
Yeah, it was good feeling, Malcolm.
Yeah, Jason Tawney. He did some special things today. I've always seen him in a bit of a different light, but he was unbelievable things.
Yeah, Malcolm, he's been... it's taken a while for Jason to get into our side, you know, and he's been really disappointed personally. And for 3 or 4 weeks I had to go to him each Thursday morning and just let him know that he wasn't in. But he's a hardened player. He's, from a team perspective, he brings some real fabric to our side on the ground and off the ground. He's part of our senior leadership group. And he did some. He's got a really strong approach to the footy, and it was pretty exciting to see him finish that goal as well. So he'd be feeling pretty good about himself.
Neil, how did you approach the conditions with the players today? It was obviously going to be difficult, even with the wind, to kick goals.
Yeah, it was a tricky wind. I thought our first quarter into the wind, we didn't play it that well. Not so much. Two areas. I thought we played with a bit too much speed for the strength of the wind that it was. And I thought just the positioning of some of our defenders wasn't quite right as well. So we spoke about that at half-time, and I thought we did it much better in the third quarter.
Neil, Nathan Bock played him up forward early, then he had that terrific season at centre-half back. After injuries come back in. That goal from the pocket, I haven't seen too many guys kicking from there ever, but he actually presented and did his bit up forward.
Yeah, he did. He's been good, Malcolm. Yeah, that goal in the pocket, I think we predicted in the box it was going to be out of bounds on the full on the left-hand side.
You did. So did I.
So, but anyway, you know, you take them when they're there. But he's been good for us up forward. We've got a slightly different combination with Welsh, Pock and Perry. I mean, they all offer something slightly different. Nathan with his movement and his size, of course, whereas Ian tends just to sit under the ball for you, and Welshie, we know, is more of a leading type player. So, you know, it's worked out pretty well for us.
How are you going to approach the preliminary final if you start to get a couple of the big names maybe back to full fitness? It's going to be tough to make calls on them?
Well, it's going to need some really clear decision-making on that. It looks good on paper, but, you know, we struggled for a period of time where we brought guys back into our side who had played good football for us in the past, but they hadn't played any footy, you know, for a period of time. And you've got to be really careful with that. And that was probably one thing that told against Kenny McGregor today. So, anyway, these guys are doing the job. It'll be up to... I'd sooner be in the side at the moment than out, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. 2 unbelievable single events. Martin Matner and Jason Porplesia, 3 efforts on top of another, created goals for you. Yeah. Very important times.
Yeah, I mean, that's... I don't know how you put a weighting on that, Malcolm, but they're unbelievable plays, and they just do so much for the whole side when they come off, let alone the crowd as well. So, yeah, I mean, they're pretty special moments, and I mean, that's what finals are all about. They're the sort of things you look back on and cherish, those sorts of moments.
Been a very tough 6 weeks for you. Have you had doubts yourself along the way that you would get to the preliminary final?
Oh, well, I mean, you've always got, I mean, there's nothing guaranteed in this game, as we've seen this year from a whole range of different sides. So, but having said that, I mean, the playing group have enormous confidence amongst themselves. They have a very clear picture in their head with how they play their best football and what it looks like. So there was never any deviation from confidence in our ability to come back to form.
Craigie, what would you like to say about the fans?
The crowd was just fantastic, Mark. I mean, I think what's 42,000, and I couldn't hear myself speak at three-quarter time, and that's the loudest I've been certainly since my time in the coaching role. So
they've been wonderful to you, haven't they?
To our fans, to get that sort of crowd today with the price of tickets and that sort of thing, and to help us get over the line. Hopefully they feel pretty proud of the performance that the players put on show for them.
Well done, mate, and enjoy the break.
Yeah, no, it'd be good to have a bit of a break, but then you sort of set yourself for the prelim here, so it'll be a great day for our club.
Thanks, Craigie. Congratulations.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, guys, upstairs.
Well done, Neil Craig. And speaking of breaks, Blighty, that's what we're going to do now. Take a very short break, come back here to AAMI Stadium. Neil Craig and the Crows getting home by 30 points. Fremantle Dockers, they have to regroup. They've got another game, a semi-final next week against Melbourne at Subiaco.